So let's talk about it. I'm just a girl.
You know that girl, I am just a girl too.
There's a creator on this app called I'm Just a Girl, and a lot of y'all don't like her.
All the discourse surrounding Just a Girl, I really have just one question.
And I'm just a girl.
Just a girl. That lady, I'm just a girl.
No, because y'all are tearing that Just a Girl a whole new one.
I think the problem with I'm Just a Girl's content,
That Just a Girl lady, you cannot convince me that she don't hate black women.
Every time I hear the intro, y'all, it just cracks me up. But hey, y'all, welcome back to the Just a Girl Show. I am your host, Janine. Hope everyone is having an amazing day thus far. Wherever you are, welcome to the show. So before we start, please be sure to, share the live out with those who you think can benefit from this conversation. Subscribe to the channel, of course, if you're not a subscriber thus far. And let's get into it. Okay. So you guys see the title of the live, right? And I want to just put this out there, this disclaimer before I jump into the conversation. This is meant to be educational. Okay. I'm not here to dogpile on Black women. I'm not here to bash us. That is not the purpose of this live. It is meant to be educational. And I know this is discussed so often. And a lot of my platform that I created and started out was discussing the disparities, amongst us as Black women, and seeing the breakdown within our relationships and the, lower marital rates and being at the bottom when it comes to marriage and family. You understand what I'm saying? So I know it's going to be taken out of context, but I'm just putting it out there that this is not meant for that. And anytime that I've talked about this it's like, we can't avoid discussing what is if we want to get to where we want to go. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that that's the problem. Sometimes we like, oh, don't worry about that. Let's not talk about that. Let's just get to the solution. We can't talk about the solutions until we discuss the issue, right? And the issue at hand is that we as Black women have the lowest marital rates, right? We as Black women have become undesired by men of all race, right? This is not even just about Black men, but men of all race are not looking to marry us. Outside of that, though, Black men, majority, right? More than half are married to Black women, right? So let's make that clear that Black men and Black women are married to each other. That is the norm, right? Right? Okay. But I want to talk about the why. How do we get here? What's happening? How do we move forward? If we can move forward. But I think the problem is, right? I'm married. This year I'll be married for 9 years. I was not raised to be a wife. Let me make that very clear. I was not raised to be a wife. My mother did not raise me to be a wife because she was not a wife. She cannot teach me. She had nothing to teach me about being a wife, let alone being a partner. Okay. So this is the norm with a lot of Black women, that our mothers are not married. So they can't teach us how to be wives. They don't even recognize or realize that we should be wives, right? That we should be raised to be a partner, a wife, a companion, a support system. We're not raised that way. So I never eliminate myself from the equation of discussing that. I am still figuring it out every day how to become a better wife, because I didn't see it. I didn't see it. And I've said this before. I knew that I wanted to be married, but for me, marriage to me seemed like so out of touch. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seemed like to be married, you had to be like really important, grow up in a certain neighborhood. Like, that's kind of how I saw marriage. You know what I'm saying? I saw that like it was just I don't know. I feel like it was like out of reach for me, essentially, if that makes sense. I didn't think just the average, girl from the hood, would just be a wife. Not saying that I didn't want to be, but it just wasn't something that was like the norm. You know what I'm saying? So today, where we are as Black women, okay, ain't nobody trying to marry us. Nobody's trying to marry us. And we can do all this talking, y'all. We can say all we want. And I think that this is a way to just make ourselves feel better about our situations. Everybody says, I don't want to be married. I don't want to be married. That's here nor there. But I want to talk about the first I'm talking about, so we're talking about Black women in general being undesired, right? For marriage. But I'm talking about specifically marriage, though. I am talking about marriage, right? I'm talking about marriage because I'm talking about Black women being desired to be married, like seeing a commitment with us. I'm not just talking about Black women are desired. Men will sleep with us. Men want us. But do men want to marry us? That's two different things. Let's make that very clear. Men want us. Men will sleep with us. Men will entertain us. But will they marry us? Do they have a desire to say, I want her to be my wife? That's a whole different thing. Okay? So we're talking specifically tonight about marriage. But I want to share this first video to give some context on, I think, one of the major issues with us as Black women as to why we're not, why marriage becomes so far behind us, because we prioritize our careers. So let me just share this for y'all.
So I was having a conversation with this guy I was briefly talking to, and he asked me what I plan to do after I finished up my master's. And I was like, well, I'm highly considering going for my PhD and, down the line, maybe like opening up a nonprofit. And he was like, you don't want to be married? I was like, yeah, I want to be married. I was like, what you mean by that? And he was like, how you going to do that if you're trying to pursue your PhD? And I was like, well, that's where balance come in. And he was like, well, most dudes, like, when they get married, they expecting their wife to focus on their family and stuff like that, not still on your career. And I was like, damn, first off, is that how y'all feel for real? Second, why does a woman have to choose? Why can't I want the marriage, the family, and the career? Like, I don't have dreams of being the homemaker all solely by myself or anything like that, like taking care of home, primarily doing the child rearing. But damn, like, if I choose to pursue my career, does that lessen my chances of getting married? Like, genuine question.
So let me remove this. So answer the question. Yes, it does lessen your chances. So I want to start here. Okay. I want to start here with this regarding career, right? And how we as Black women are raised to prioritize our career. From the time, if you went to college, if you was a young girl going into college, your parents, your mom, your auntie, uncles, whoever told you, girl, don't go to college. Don't worry about no man. Get your education. Don't go up there. Don't settle down. You ain't got time to be settled down. Don't worry about no man. Focus on your career. Okay? Get your degrees. Right? We're not raised to do that, to be a wife. We're raised to focus on career. So what you heard her say, I want to get my master's and then get my PhD and then start a nonprofit. How can you do all that? And how do you have time to be a wife? This is why, let's make this very clear, why it works well in the other communities, i.e., amongst the white community, because they have a thing in their community, is ring by spring, right? That's their thing of like getting your engagement ring before you graduate from college. They have their soon to be husband, right? And when you start young, right, you start your love young while y'all both are building. We're building together. You ain't got nothing, I ain't got nothing. You just coming out of school, you going into, let's say you're about to go into I don't know. Let's just use you leave your undergrad and you want to go to law school, and your fiance is going to be an engineer, right? Y'all 21, 22. We're building together, right? So when we're figuring out our careers when we're younger, by the time we hit about let's say about 26, 27, it's time to start our family. We could have got married during that time, right? But now we enter our career, we can start having our children, or we've been doing it for a little while. We can decide who's going to do what. But for us, Black women, I wish I would stop what I'm doing, settle down with a man, build with him. When I'm 22, I should be outside with my friends getting my degrees, and I'll worry about a man later. That's the biggest problem. So again, to her question, yes, it will. Yes, it will lessen your chances of a man wanting to be with you and marry you when he realizes that you ain't got no time. Family is not a priority. And that's what has been the breakdown with us as Black women, that family is not a priority for us. And men are realizing that family is not a priority for Black women. They don't want to be a family. They don't want to have kids. They don't want to stop being selfish, essentially. They don't want to. You have to stop being selfish and want to become a wife. You have to have that desire in teaching when you are young. Hold on, y'all. My dog. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. So you have to have that teaching while you're young. So that right there is one of the main issues with us as Black women, is prioritizing our careers. And you think you got all this time. It take a doctorate degree take about 5 years. About 5 years. So you're going to do your master's, that's about 2 years. You're going to do 5 more years and then start a nonprofit and then become. You can have both. Let's make that very clear. But you're going to have to decide. You're going to have to choose. You cannot be full throttle, right? Trying to run it all, right? Because where does your husband and your kids fall in line? Right? You have to, it does take balance. But for us, it's I'm going to choose my career over anything. And then you left with that career by yourself. Okay? But I want to show you something, because we're going to go through this clip. And it's in regarding the same conversation around education and how we as Black women, our priorities are all messed up, and why Black men, this was going to be referenced to Black men, how Black men end up dating outside their race. Keep this in mind, y'all. Black men marry Black women more than any other race. Okay. So when you hear what I'm about to show you guys, it's a lot of misinformation being shared. So keep that in mind. Okay. So I'm going to do a lot of like stopping and pausing, just so you guys can like catch what I'm getting at. But I want to go ahead and share this, and we're going to go right into it. Okay. Again, be sure to like the live, share it out, all the support. Thank you guys for being here. I really, really appreciate it. So let's get into it.
But I will say that there are some nuances that might add some context to the conversation around successful Black athletes dating white women. With that being said, welcome to our own draft, ladies. The 2025 BEG draft. That's right, the Blue-Eyed Girlfriend draft, consisting of generic Black athlete and all the women fighting to become his blue-eyed girlfriend. And though not blue-eyed themselves, Black women actually participate in this draft as well, whether they know it or not. So let's break down some of the factors that lead our future sports stars right on into their Caucasian happily ever after. So here we have them, ladies, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, coming in all colors, shapes, and sizes. But for the purposes of this argument, let's zero in on the Black ones and the white ones. These young women come into college, and as tradition would have it, the men swarm. But what is it that takes a girl from dating the cafeteria dish boy to dating the most promising recruit of the season? Let's find out. First of all, Black women are the most educated racial gender group in terms of college degree attainment.
That's a lie. Okay, let's just make that clear. We are not. We are not, no shade to us. I'm an educated woman myself, but we are not the most educated. Okay. And my question always is to that point right there, because they always start with that. They always want to make sure that everybody knows that we're the most educated. What does that mean? What does it do for us to brag about how we're educated? Because how we move out here, how we show up, how we act, don't give educated. It don't give educated at all. So I honestly feel like we should kind of stop using that as the leading thing for us, because it really makes us not look good. For us to be all these educated women, and it's like, you educated and you act like that, and you educated and you act like, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to put that out there. Like, that's not true. But again, if that's what they want to lead with, why do we look the way we look with being so educated? Okay. But let's keep going.
They hold a larger share of bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and doctorates than any other race gender group in the United States. So as one would have it, when they get to college, it's clear that they mean business. Therefore, school choice within itself can be a deterrent from the start. That D1 university may have the coin, but does it have the degree program they're looking for? Are they giving out scholarships for their field of study? Then premier HBCUs, on the other hand, got a reputation, high academic standards, legacy, cultural values, acceleration programs geared for Black women, and not to mention a little something nice to look at on campus that's probably on the same type of time as you. Wait, HBCUs have sports programs too? Are they good ones? I didn't think so. The Black men at HBCUs are far more likely to be focused on academics and careers outside of the sports industry. So moving on. Whatever the case is, the choice to stick to their skin folk already knocks a few Black women off the board. On the other hand, you have our prospective NBA draft pick, who, if he's an NBA draft pick, likely chose this life a long time ago, because ball is life. He's tall, dark, and handsome. And unlike the Black women in the first bracket, that D1 university has everything that he needs. By his junior year of high school, his coach was already breeding him to be the top player at his state school. So while he may miss out on the swag surfing and pretending to know all the words to dreams and nightmares at some random block party on the quad on a Wednesday night, he sleeps good, knowing those checks are always going to clear. Next up, for my ladies still in the running, there's the question of what exactly everybody came to college for. Yes, everyone is ultimately here for an education. Please. But to make it to the top of the BEG draft, you have to be focused on your man too. According to TikTok, many young white women are groomed to prioritize getting that ring before spring when they go to school. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, some of the Black women left have bigger fish to fry due to several socioeconomic factors, due to, well, racism. They're at college.
So let's stop there, right? And I don't mean to pause her face where we right there, but you heard what she just said, right? She said Black women going to college mean business. Do you guys know that so many Black women go to college and get pregnant within their first year of college, first and second year of college, right? We mean so much business, but so many Black women go to college and they don't graduate. They don't even finish. They get pregnant. They flunk out. They do too much partying that they're not getting their education. So meaning business, like she said, we mean business, right? Is it really business when we're not doing the right thing? Other than that, she just pointed out and stated, right, is that the white women, as I said, they are, focused on getting that ring by before spring, right? They are, they're taught to go to college and get the degree, right, and also secure a husband. Because let's think about this, y'all. If we think about this logically, if you are in college, a college campus, you will probably never come across anything like it in your life to live on that campus for 4 to 5 years and be amongst so many different people at one time on any given day. Why wouldn't that be the time and place to meet whoever you're going to meet for potentially to spend the rest of your life with? Because you ain't never probably going to be in this environment ever again. So why not take advantage? Why not take advantage of it? So yes, they're raised to get their education and get their man because they have higher degree rates than us, and they also have higher marriage rates than us. So do we mean business, or do they really mean business? Because they're getting to the money, and they're getting, you understand what I'm saying? So we got to really think about when we just say this stuff, because all she's doing is making us look bad. That's all I'm gonna say, but let me keep going.
College for upward mobility, to carry grandma and them bills on their back when they get out. A man would be nice, but a check would be better.
So there you go right there. We are raised to go to college to carry our family on our back. So it's our fault that our family, the breakdown, feminism, took them in at the homes. When Black women said they didn't need a man no more. So now she got to do it by herself. And now it's your daughter and your son's responsibility to take care of you because you didn't get a man. Like, it's a domino effect. So now we got to take care of the family. So because they get the luxury to not to do that because they made better choices, they're wrong because they don't have to focus on that, which again, I don't even agree with that. I think that that's another excuse for us not acknowledging why Black men may choose to date outside their race, which again, Black men marry more Black women. They're married on average more to Black women. Like, so even that, again, it's not true. Black men are married to Black women more than any other race. But again, to try to paint a picture like, because we got to go to school and pay the bills at home, so we can't focus on the man. We got to get to business. I don't believe that. That's not true in my opinion.
So that knocks a few Black women off the board as well. Meanwhile, I see our star athlete is cruising right along because for him, he's already accepted the fact that he's going to be carrying his family on his back. He was conditioned into that mindset long ago, except for he's a man, so that's okay. So unlike the Black women who may be stressed and pressed trying to make a bag and bring it back home, he's been getting called the man nonstop since he even got recruited. So yeah.
We're going to stop there as well, right? So because the Black women are stressed and carrying stuff on their back, again, if the home structures wasn't so broken in our communities, we wouldn't have to do it. If our mothers, grandmothers were not programming us to think we could do it by ourselves, we wouldn't be doing it. But what she's saying is what all Black women, what a lot of Black women say they want to do. I want to do it by myself. I could do better by myself. So on one end, you can do better by yourself, but the next minute you can't focus on a man because you got to do it by yourself. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, y'all. You can't complain about doing it all by yourself. You got to carry it on your back, but then you're also saying, I could do better by myself. But this is what we are programmed from the time you are a little girl. You're hearing your mom say, men ain't ish. You don't need no man. Don't focus on no man. Don't depend on no man. That's what you've been being told since you was 5 years old. And then you add to the equation about how much you should hate Black men. You're not only being taught to don't depend on men, but to hate Black men. So Black women going into college from their single mother homes are already going into school with this I hate Black men, don't depend on Black men mentality. Whereas white women don't get taught that. They're not raised to hate Black men. So they're looking like they don't even have to fight for the Black men because y'all don't want them. So we going to take them off your hands. That athlete, we'll take him off your hands. You don't want him. I got him. We'll take care of him. That's how it be, y'all.
Yeah, he hasn't even noticed the Black girls dropping out of his dating pool. But that might not even matter for the Black girls that we have left, because now that you've even made it into the same dating pool as him, you now have to be prepared for what it's like to date an athlete. Because while the Black girl's trying to play for his heart like Sinai, he might just be trying to play them for their services. He has away games. He's sore. He needs help with homework in the class he's only been to once this semester. Why? Because basketball comes first. And he needs a woman who is willing to take care of all of that for his sake. Now, you just heard me say that the Black women left are there for better opportunities in the future. How can they focus on being a fairy god girlfriend if they have their own lives to focus on as well?
But let's think about that. Okay. She said the athlete who's going to probably knows he's going to the NBA, knows life is going to be good. If things go accordingly, we going to be good. So he needs a girl who's going to be there to help him, support him, cheer him on, help him with his homework. And they are willing to do it without a problem because they see the future. They see what's happening. You think I'm about to worry about what I'm doing? Baby, whatever I want to do don't matter no more because we going to be good. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not fighting to be able to just brag about me having 5 degrees that I'm not going to do nothing with. And that's how Black women, we want to brag about degrees and we don't even do nothing with. That's collecting dust. It's collecting dust. So we don't want to support our Black men while they're going through the struggle and while they're going from away games and sports and all of the things because basketball has been their life since they were probably 10 years old. So they need a woman in their life as they get older to really ride this wave with me. Be in the gym shooting with me. You understand what I'm saying? And they are willing to do it. But as she's saying, we don't got time for that. We've trying to focus on our career. Why? Why? Honestly, you want to be a social worker that bad? You want to be a social worker that bad that you can't help your boyfriend with his homework as he gonna be drafted into the NBA, next year potentially. You want to be a social worker that bad, so you want to stand on the fact that I can't help you because I got to focus on my own career. Girl, you're good. Play your part. Be his woman. Be a listening ear. Be a supportive ear. Help him with that homework. But again, we're not raised to prioritize our careers and a man. We're raised to say, I don't need no man. I'm not pushing myself to the back burner. Why not though? You want a soft life. That's what Black women want. We want a soft life. He's going to give you a soft life. If you ride this out and you play your part, play it well, be kind, be nice, be supportive. Don't be combative. Don't give him attitude about him going to his game. Don't argue with him about him going to his game because this is for his career and this could be for y'all. We want to fight about it. Well, you ain't spending enough time with me. Girl, I got a game. Do you know who I am? Do you understand who I am? Look at Travis Hunter. Ain't no Black girl wanted him. For whatever reason. Many different reasons. He got somebody who going to do, look what he got. She gonna play her part to get what she wants because she know they gonna be good. She gonna be good no matter how it work out. Played her part and will play it as long as she gotta play it to make sure that she is good. But let me keep going.
And it's not just about focus. It's also about proximity. What are these women doing outside of class? What are they into? Likely diving into those extracurriculars that are going to propel them forward in their respective goals. SGA, Honor Society, intern programs, maybe even a dual degree program, sororities even. But we all know that process and the priorities for Black sororities are a whole lot different than the white ones. And the networks from the Black ones have much farther and weightier reach in the professional world. Well, I guess I wouldn't know. I'm a GDI. But what I do know is that it takes a whole lot of those Black ladies' time, sometimes a whole semester. Meanwhile, Lily and Emily done found a home for their extra time as team managers and interning with the sports massage therapist and are now on the road with the team. And this isn't to say that white women don't potentially face the same obstacles as Black women, but things work a little differently when society doesn't require you to grow up at a much faster rate than the other kids your age. And when you're not sitting on a trust fund or any measure of accumulated wealth. But I digress. The point is, we see who's made it to the end of the BEG season 2025 draft. And of course, for better or for worse, our star athlete was always destined to be waiting for her at the top. So our guy has chosen to take his girlfriend and her blue eyes into sports stardom. They fell in love, and she just happened to be white. And that's your prerogative, king or generic black athlete. But the only thing I'll give you is that the circumstances play just as important a role here as do your preferences. On top of whiteness being the standard for beauty and the misogynoir that paints black women as undesirable, there are real, damaging implications behind black athletes who actively seek out anything but a black woman and are vocal about that. Because the average Joes who will never have the chance that your type of talent, stardom, or proximity to whiteness will do their best to emulate your success in any way they can, even if it's just having a white woman, and punching down on black women in the process because they have no other real way to verbalize their choice other than the fact that they want to be just like you. Now, will this new couple survive once our star athlete finally makes it into the big league? Will he be tokenized and fetishized to the point of no return? Will he use his proximity to whiteness to try to get him out of trouble over and over again when the police come knocking? Who knows? I mean, we absolutely do know, but for the sake of the bit, who knows?
All righty. So let's just make something very clear. Since we're talking about athletes, and I see a comment regarding this goes into all other avenues of career. So you're right. Majority of black athletes are married to black women. Okay. So let's stop with this narrative. Right? Dwayne Wade married to Gabrielle Union. Chris Paul, Chris Paul is married to a black woman. Let's even go further into football. Michael Vick's married to a black woman. Russell Westbrook's married to a black woman. Allen Iverson is married to a black woman. I don't know basketball well. I'm not knowing sports. I'm trying to think, y'all. Who else? I'm thinking about black. It's somebody else. It's like some more athletes. So it's like when they talk about this, it's like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, they be married to black women. Like, come on. You talking about a small, y'all know that what is his name? Russell Westbrook, but it's somebody else. I can't think of his name. Oh my gosh, I'm on a blank. But they marry black women. Look, Rajon Rondo just married a black woman. What do we PJ Wolahan, he's married to a black woman. So they say this stuff, and it's just, again, you just go left. You got the small percentage of men who are married to a black woman. I mean, to a non-black woman. And they go with that, and this is the thing that it does. And LeBron, that's what it is. LeBron James, Savannah James, I love her. Look, the person that they idolize, that they worship, LeBron, and he's been with Savannah since they were in high school, and she played her part. She knew, I'm sure, that her man was going to be LeBron James, who he is today. Maybe not to the extent, you know what I'm saying? But she played her part well. Stuck by her man. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that when this comes up, all it does is like gets black women hype, right? It gets us worked up. It makes us go in our head and make us believe all this stuff. And it's like, girls, let's sit down and think about it. If we focus on athletes specifically, that's not even a real thing, you know? But if you take out the athletes, right? And like I said, let me just pop this, let me read this comment. Hold on. It says something about not even just about athletes, because I do agree with that. Okay, yeah. So it says, even if it wasn't sports, right? Men go into trades, they have to go through, different journeys, 5 years, med school, 10 years. They don't see the vision, but Becky and Maria will. That's what it's all about, y'all. Seeing the vision. Being able to understand and build a life together, and we're not willing to build a life. You know what I've said this before, that black women think build, like, I don't want to build a man. I don't want to have to be his mama. That's how we are raised to think. So there's no building. We don't want to work from the ground up together. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Before I share this clip, I'm going to just read a couple of super chats. Kevin A. Geddes, great topic. Thank you. I appreciate that. Gregory Scotland, shout out to you. Thank you. Good evening. There might be a change with the Gen Z men. Many of them don't really like what they see. They go for the Yo Mama Black or the pro Black con job. I mean, I definitely think that, you know, generations are going to change, right? Right? Generations are going to change, and the further away we get away from family in our community and the Black community, the further away that it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. You know what I'm saying? They don't like what they see. And this is what I try to call out. That's why I said in the beginning, this is not a live conversation for it to be about bashing and tearing us down as Black women, but it's more so about bringing to the forefront about how we can change some of this stuff. You know, how we can change some of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the first problem that we have, again, is just admitting our flaws. Can we be obnoxious? Are we aggressive? You know, are we unwilling to build? Are we unwilling to work on ourselves? Are we combative? Are we, you know, the ratchet behaviors? All of that stuff. Coming from single parent homes, our mothers, I'm telling y'all, a lot of our mothers have destroyed us. Our mothers have destroyed us. The community that we've grown up in destroyed us, and social media has only amplified it. It has only amplified it. I'm going to share this next clip with y'all to see. This is something I thought was actually really good because it really talks about one of the biggest problems with us as Black women.
It used to be the statistic that 42% of Black women do not get married. It's probably even higher now. But one thing I think women don't talk about is this one thing. Sometimes we're the problem and we don't take the time to look at ourselves. But nobody wants to talk about that. We idolize people like Sierra for the prayer that she prayed to get her husband. But we don't talk about, did Sierra actually put in the work to work on herself first? Do you think that a person like her could attract somebody if she was broken? I think you attract who you are. A lot of us don't want to put in the work to work on ourselves first. We dread the thought of healing because it seems like a task. Instead of like looking at it like, okay, you know what? Let me get to know myself. Let me find out the things that I actually like about me. And I think until we start to actually work on ourselves, that statistic is going to remain. And I'm not saying that it's all because of being unhealed, but I am saying be accountable because everything ain't these men. Some of it is us. And we need to say that.
So she's absolutely right. Right? That's true. About, what do we have right now? I think it's about 28% of Black women who are married. Right? And I talked about this before. Talked about this many times. I've talked about how we don't work on ourselves. We refuse to work on ourselves. We think we don't have to do anything. We think men are supposed to just accept us for who we are. Accept me for who I am, whatever I am, and whatever I bring. And if you don't want to accept me, you ain't the man for me. But you've been saying that for the last 10 years with 5 different men. You don't think at some point, if you want to be married, that it's probably you? That's a problem that many Black women struggle with. That you don't want to acknowledge that you are the problem. And it's very hard for us to do that. It is very hard for us to acknowledge that we are the problem. It's very hard for us to work on ourselves. And women have this idea, Black women have this idea. I remember I talked about this before about how what did I said something about women, they were like, they don't, imagine them doing the work to get a man. Imagine me work. They were like, and they took us so like literal, like, I'm like, doing the work on yourself. That's what you're doing, right? You're doing the work on yourself. But they were like, oh, I wish I would work hard for a man. We work hard for everything else. You see how you see how like how she said on there that video, the white women, they'll find themselves working for the team. They're the tile girl, they got their way in to be with their man and help him. Right? Right? They willing to do the work. For us, I wish I would do anything for a man and work hard for a man, because men, the way that we are raised to look at men, we're raised to think that we shouldn't have to do anything to get a man. He should just take us as we are, as I said. He just chases us. But what is he chasing after is the question. Does he want to chase you? And unfortunately, you know, a lot of men don't want to chase Black women anymore. And when I say, and more so in a serious manner, you know, like really want to pursue us for lifelong goals. You know, they don't want to pursue us in that way. They'll chase us for something that they can get quick and easy, but reality, really putting the work in, why waste my time? Why waste my time on someone like you? A nasty attitude, mean, a bully, very, very uncouth, very masculine. Let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all something real quick, because this is type of stuff that people ain't trying to raise their kids. Hold on, I'm gonna share this because I shared this video earlier. I saw this was an interaction between a mom and a daughter. I know it's probably, you know, like whatever. Oh my God, I gotta show you this video because oh gosh, hold on. I gotta find it because I gotta share this, because this is one of those things where it just shows when men think about, I believe men think about who they want to be married to and also who they want to be the mother of their children. Right? And how you act as a woman, how you speak, how you behave. He's watching if I want to marry you and you be raising my kids. You're the one who's, you know, doing certain things with my kids. Some men ain't like, he ain't trying to do that. He ain't trying to do that. So let me show y'all this. And I know this, I don't know if this is a skit or this is like, it's the content, honestly. If I'm being all the way honest, let me just share this because I really want y'all to see. This is just an example of why can't I saying an age restriction for some reason. I don't know why. Hold on, let me see if I can save it and send it to myself. Okay, let me share another super chat while I download this. This is from Gregory again. Generation X Black men and the boomers bent over backwards for Black women. I agree. And I think Black men who are with Black women still do it to this day. But a lot of it is going unappreciated. You know, a lot of it is, you know, overlooked. A lot of it is taken advantage of. You know, I want to share this because I think that this right here is the epitome, in my opinion, of the epitome of you do what you see, you know, and how you're raised and how you speak. Let me just share this and show y'all this.
They probably went back there. Give me my motherfucking shit. The fuck? You ain't getting no motherfucking lobster, nigga. What you thought this was?
Today we are trying red lobster's seafood boil.
Yeah. I spent $100.
I'm happy she paid.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, you paid for this too?
I paid for that too. Wasn't free.
Oh,
look. This is mine.
Let me see. Open it up.
No. This is yours. What the fuck are you doing? I'm trying to figure out where my motherfucking lobster
where's the sauce at? What type of flavor did you choose?
I got what does it say? Cajun? What the fuck is, wait a minute, let me see this shit. They got me. garlic, Old Bay butter and garlic roasted some shit.
Should we pour it out?
Let's pour this punk ass shit out.
Yeah, let's pour it out.
It's looking kind of young. It's looking kind of goddamn young. Get the juice off that motherfucker because it don't look like they gave you a lot. Okay, let's see now.
I'm having a hard time over here.
I see, goddamn. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the lobster. So this shit was $100 and some. They gave you a few little potatoes.
Put that in your mouth.
A few potatoes, 2 corn. You got a little clusters. These little baby clusters.
Yeah.
These
Oh,
little
why you
clusters.
didn't give me no crabs?
Did you ask for some? The fuck?
Is it?
Come on now. Let's see what's going on. Hold on. Let me see.
My shrimp tastes plain.
Wait a minute.
That potato.
That shrimp is, hey. That shrimp did something.
Buttery.
Wait the fuck a minute, goddamn it, red trill lobster.
Okay, this is good.
Wait a minute.
It's real good.
Why would people say this was trash? They probably went back there. Give me my motherfucking shit. The fuck? You ain't get no motherfucking lobster, nigga. What you thought this was? Tend to your sausage and shrimp and shit. Tend to that shit, because you worry about the wrong shit over here.
So that's the mother-daughter type of content. That's the mother-daughter, not even just content, that's the mother-daughter real life relationships. Right? The cursing. So if that's your daughter and she's around you, watching you, learning from you, why would I want to be with a woman who speaks like that? Who's that aggressive? Men think about that type of stuff. That was a mother and daughter, y'all. Mother and daughter. Right? And these are the things that I think we overlook as women, that we think that men aren't paying attention to this stuff. You know? We don't think men are paying attention. But they are. They are. And as I said before, Black women, we're raised with mothers just like that speak the same way. Mannerisms are the same way. That's a very real thing in the Black community, that you don't really have no other choice but to talk like that, because that's all you heard all your life. So you're mimicking it. But this is what we see. So when you and your mom have a conversation, right? She's cursing at you. She's overly aggressive with her words. You understand what I'm saying? But again, we don't realize that this type of upbringing can absolutely influence how we interact with men, i.e. Black men. And it's like off-putting. It's very off-putting. We also, in the Black community, amongst Black women, we don't value marriage. We see no point in it. So again, that's a big breakdown. And if you go into the white community versus the Black community, white women versus Black women, we don't value marriage. All we hear is people talking about how marriage is nothing, it don't matter, it's a piece of paper, you know, it is what it is. Where on that end, they understand the benefits of it. They understand the status behind it. They understand that it takes work. And I know people always say, like, well, I'm not saying no marriage if I'm not happy. But sometimes, right? Sometimes you got to do things that you don't want to do for the sake of your children, for your business, for your family, whatever it might be. And for us, because we have this, I could do it all, I could do better by myself type of mentality, we be ready to divorce real fast. Because imagine me sticking it out with a man. Imagine me doing the work to fix it, to figure it out. When my mama told me I could just leave. You don't say anywhere that you don't feel appreciated. You don't feel wanted. You don't feel this. You don't feel that. And will you go through moments in your marriage where you will not feel appreciated and feel unwanted? Absolutely. But does that mean we should just run? In my opinion, no. But according to the sisterhood, absolutely.
On in, okay, and leave her to take care of a newborn by herself. But
why is it not playing? Hold on. I'm going to play it again.
That he's basically sticking to the traditional marriage and just providing. But he said that as soon as the baby starts walking and talking and wrong for saying that Ashanti should not have gotten. I knew I wasn't wrong for saying that Ashanti should not have gotten back with Nelly because look, that man is embarrassing her already. Not only do he leave for months on end, okay, and leave her to take care of a newborn by herself, but he also said that it's a blessing that he's able to sleep through his son crying in the middle of the night. He said that he told her before she decided to kick him under the table that he will not be helping with the diaper changes. He's basically sticking to the traditional marriage and just providing. But he said that as soon as the baby starts walking and talking and communicating what he needs and what he wants, that's when he's going to step in. That lady is a married single mother, and I don't like that for her. But girl, he showed you who the fuck he was. Why would you want to still be with him? Could never, ever, ever be me. Because if I was abortionable weeks pregnant, I would have left that man and I would have sent that baby. This man is a walking red flag, and I hate that she gave him a child. Mind you, this is her first child. So not only is he a neglectful dad, he's also a Trump supporter, okay? And he's also allegedly a cheater. I would have left that man so fast his fucking head would have spin.
This is why they don't want to marry us. This is exactly why they don't want to marry us. That right there. If you haven't seen my latest video regarding Ashanti and Nelly, it's on my platform now. So definitely go check it out. I talked about this. But this is why she's a married single mother. She's the issue at hand is the fact that any slight inconvenience, uncomfortability, I'm gonna leave that man. We don't value family. We don't value commitment. We don't value partnership. That is what they deem as I could do better by myself. So why would a man want to walk into a marriage with a woman who he knows if times get hard, she leaving me. She don't want to support the dream, the vision, the goals. She wants to do what she wants to do. So you have to think about it. Men like to try to work with women who they can work with, right? Not gonna be perfect. We are obviously much different. Men and women are different. But if I can choose a woman who's easier to work with versus more difficult, most men would choose the woman who is easier. And with our upbringing and how we are raised, we're not the easiest group of women to work with in all capacities, from romantic relationships to our professional side of things, friendships, We just don't do well in many different areas based on how we are raised, from how we, you know, like I said, from how we view dealing with conflict, communication. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of the lack of a lot of the things that we have lacked growing up spills into our adulthood, and it shows in our dating life. Like I said, a lot of Black women, again, most of them today say they don't want to be married. You know, they don't want to have children. Cool, right? That's fine. But then there's a whole another group of women who do want to be married, but also don't want to do the work to get married. It doesn't make sense. And I think our biggest problem is with Black women today is that we have been programmed by society, the women in our community, the Vivica Foxes, the Claudia Jordans, these old women who prioritize their career and then they're by themselves to make you think you have all the time in the world to do whatever you want to do and then find a man. And as you can see, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. You should have found your man back in the day. Vivica Fox was married and stayed with him because the actors and actresses who got together when they was young, they still together. Denzel and his wife still together. Viola Davis and her husband still together. What's the other lady name? Angela Bassett and her husband still together. They did it when they were young. And they made it work because they were building together. We're not coming in with ego. I'm not coming in with my millions when you want your millions. We are not letting go of our ego. So when you're young, it works so much better. But we, again, teach our girls to not prioritize a man, which I'm not saying that you necessarily should prioritize a man when you're 18 years old. That's not what I'm saying. But I think that I'm a mom. I have no problem saying that I'm raising my daughter to be a wife. And I have no problem saying that I would love for her to meet her husband in college. Because again, as I said, where will we be as Black women ever in this world where there would be thousands and thousands of people in one place ever in life again, where you have full access to, not full, but you have so much access to these people, men of all race, backgrounds, cultures. You will never get that anywhere else other than going to college. Like, so why not maximize on that? Why not? It's like you set yourself up in the right position, carry yourself well, look good. You got like all these options. You know what I'm saying? All these options. But a lot of times we think, oh, I'm gonna just go to the parties. I ain't got time to settle with no man. Blah blah. Men gonna hold us back. Girl, you got pregnant. That's why you got held back. You should never got pregnant. Because a lot of Black women go to college and get pregnant. So as she said in that video, we mean business. No, we don't. No, we don't. No, ma'am. No, we don't. No, we don't. You know? Everybody over sexualized and it's easy access. Anybody can escape the program. Yeah, that's true. That is true. You are what you attract. I want Black women to realize that. You are what you attract. So if you are attracting a certain type of man, ask yourself, or a certain type of men, what about me says that? What about me gives whatever I don't like about you? Because there's something about you that makes him think he has a chance. Because I believe that men are not as delusional as women. They understand rejection and they don't have no problem being rejected. But I do believe that certain men know who's out their league. And they won't even try. But if you outside looking a mess, acting a mess, with your whole behind hanging out, why would I not try? You think you give respect yourself? No, you don't give that. So I'm gonna try it. And yeah, you thinking, oh, why would he ever try me? Because look at what you got on. Look at who you hang with. Look at your friends. So you give low caliber, ratchet, ghetto, nasty. There are good men out here, Black women, for us. There are. We just don't want the good men. The men that want you, you don't want him. The man who would marry you, you don't want him. Because you were also raised to think that you got to have the man with all the money. And if he don't got all the money, he ain't the man for you. Why does he need all the money? Black men also don't want to marry us because we got a whole bunch of damn kids. I don't want to marry you and take care of all them damn kids. It's too many of us with kids. So I gotta deal with you and all your baby daddies? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I gotta deal with your entitlement to think that I gotta deal with you and all your kids and take care of you and all your kids. That makes you also less desired for marriage. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to think about when we get into these conversations around how men are choosing what women do they decide to date or not date. There's a lot of factors. You don't want the men who will willingly take care of you and your kids. You don't want him. You want a man that's out your league that you ain't never going to get. The man who don't want you. The man who doesn't desire you. But the man who does desire you, he's corny, he's boring, he don't got enough money, he don't got enough swag. Girl, what? Do you want a family or do you not? Do you want a family or do you not? As I said, Black women, we got to let go of our ego and we got to get off this high horse of our careers or everything. Your career is not everything. You're going to have to make a choice. You're going to have to make a choice. You can't be everywhere. And a man wants to be a provider. You want a provider, so we say. But you won't allow him to be that because you trying to do it all. Or you want a man to wait for you to be done with your PhD when you hit 35. I don't want you at 35. Like, we don't have all this time. And Black women, we think we have all this time. We don't. We don't have all this time to just play around and use up our bodies and mistreat our bodies. We don't have all this time. We have to realize that getting together with a man while you are young is so much better, in my opinion, than trying to do it when you're older. I promise you. It's so much better. But again, we don't want to build. We don't want to work together. We don't want to be partners. And that's a problem. That's a problem. Honestly, like, how do we fix this? How can we fix it if we as women don't want to do anything to change anything? Because in case you didn't know this, ladies, Black women that are here watching, the man decides if he's going to marry you or not, right? He's the one who typically, proposes and sees the potential in you and wanting to marry you, right? But he has to see you as a wife even before he decides that you are his wife. He has to see you as a wife. He has to see that you have the qualities of a wife, the compassion, the support. And what women of other races might have is just that support. That support is something that is unmatched. It is unmatched. It is really hard sometimes to find someone who really supports your dreams, who really is there to just ride it out with you, go through hard times with you. And Black women, we don't want to have no hardships. We don't want to go say the vows richer for poor, because we don't want to do that. You're delusional. You're delusional. You're delusional to think that life is going to be perfect. Marriage is going to be perfect. But a man wants to know that he has a woman that ain't going to run away from him when times get hard. And we've been taught to run. We've been taught to run. But all the women who ran, look at them, by themselves. By themselves, still. Ain't nobody ever chase after them. After they ran from that last man, ain't nobody chase after them. So you need to be very, very mindful that when you decide to run, then someone might not ever chase you again. So was it worth running away when it got hard? Or should you have decided to work it out? When you're 21, 22, like I said, Black women, we think, oh, I don't got to worry about no marriage, no man. I'm young. I'm out here getting it. I'm vacationing. Why can't you vacation with your husband, your boyfriend, fiance? Why can't you can do that? You can have a man. For me, I feel like Black women have this idea that we've been raised to think that men are the problem and they hold us back. No, it's not. It don't be men. It be your friends. Black women are undesired for marriage by Black men or men in general because of their miserable friends that make them do some of the most outlandish things. It's your friends, if we're being all the way honest, y'all. It's these women. These women are also affecting you from being where you want to be in your love life, because they set you up to do the most foolish, outlandish, embarrassing, disgusting, degenerative things in public, on social media. They'll tell you things to say to that man. The man that you're dating, that you like, he might have pissed you off a little bit. You tell your girlfriend and she gave you the worst advice ever. And from that point on, you ruin it. From that point on, you ruin it because you listen to her. Her single, no man having, ain't never have a man having behind. Now you ain't got no man. All because you listen to her. So I want you to be very mindful that your friends, I think our friends, y'all, we might have to talk, bring that up a little bit more. That these friends are also making you undesired for marriage. It's your friends. It's these friends, y'all. We're gonna add them. The friends might trump the mamas. Friends might trump mamas now, y'all. Friends, TikTok, and then your mama. So I just want us, like I said, I want us to recognize that there's a lot of work that has to be done to become the woman that you want to be. And if you want to attract the man, if you want to attract a good man, you need to also be a good woman. You have to also be a good woman. You have to be a woman of a woman who respects herself. And a man can see that. He don't want a woman who don't respect herself. And if all I keep running into is women who don't respect themselves based on how they act, how they look, how they talk, why would I want to be with a woman like that? Who desires that? Who desires a woman who is going to embarrass me, whether I'm with her or if we're not together? A man thinks about that. If I was to marry her, will she embarrass me when I'm not around? Or will she embarrass me while we're together? And unfortunately, a lot of Black women, y'all, are embarrassing. They are embarrassing. They are a lot to handle. And women think that's a flex. Well, I need a man who can handle me. And don't nobody want that. Ain't no man desiring a woman he got to handle. No man trying to handle you. Not in that manner. But this is the type of stuff that we've been programmed to believe, and we just repeat it and we say it, and we don't even know what we're saying, to be quite honest. We're just saying it. And it really makes us look bad. It really does. It really makes us look bad, if I'm being all the way honest. So I think we just need to be very mindful as Black women that we have the lowest marital rates. We do. We have the lowest marital rates. We have the highest single mother rates. We have so many damn kids. And our kids are watching us repeat the same cycles. Same cycles. Let me read a couple more of the super chats. So thank y'all so much for all the love. Okay, let's see. Andre Woods, 2.1 million Black women are single mothers. 1 in every 4 Black men over 18 are stepfathers. That's 54% of Black fathers. 2.5 million. Wow. You see that? 1 in 4 Black men over it are stepfathers. That just shows you Black men, they don't mind. They don't mind being a stepdaddy. They don't mind being a stepdaddy. They don't mind that. Next we have, is it Keith Cortez? Keep in mind, 54% of Black men never fathered children. Only about 3% of adult Black men are in jail. U.S. Department of Justice. Most Black men are middle class. Agreed. Like I said, a lot of the information that we've been told about Black men has made a lot of, made so many Black women angry and hateful, and create these lies, because we were taught to believe that Black men were the scum of the earth and nobody wanted them. But as y'all can see, they are very desired by all race of women. They want the Black man for sure. The girls want Black men, okay? So they programmed us to run from our own men while they have no problem with our men. They have no problem with their men. With our men, I'm sorry. They have no problem with our men. So they made us believe that they have all these kids and they're so bad and they're so hateful and they're so dangerous and they hate their kids and all of this stuff. And it's like, that's not even true. Or they're all in prison. Are a lot in prison? Yes. But are they all majority in prison? No. 3%. 54% of Black men don't even have kids. So that means, as I said before, if a Black man wants to marry a Black woman and meet a woman with no kids, he ain't got a lot to choose from. Because so many of us have kids and we have multiples at that. We have multiples at that. So it makes it hard. And you're not coming to a man with your kids in a humble way. We don't come that way. We come in like we deserve it all. Me and my kids. And if you don't want taking me and my kids, you could go. It's like, sis, he loves you and them kids. What's wrong with you? Well, he said we all go 50-50. So what? You paying all the bills by yourself. Why would you not want to work with him? You see how backwards we are? He wants to build with you and your kids, raise them as his own, help you, be a bonus dad, whatever it is. And you don't want to be with him because you got to pay bills and you're paying bills already. This, again, is why men are like, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Paul said, we've been out here putting in work. Media likes to lie on us. Yeah. They had us all full. They had me full for sure. I ain't never been a hate men type of woman anyway, but I heard them what we thought were stats, and that's what I thought, you know. But I never was like, I hate black men. I've never been that type of person. But it's like, well, you think like, oh, they all in prison. They all got a bunch of kids, you know. But realistically, no. You know, as I said, we don't. Let's just say this also. Black men, 97% are out of prison, right? But somehow, those men that are in prison always keep a woman. How? And not even women who they knew before they went to prison. They're meeting women in prison. Why are you at the prison when you got 97% of black men that are out here in the streets? That just proved that they don't want the men that they claim they really want. They like the thugs, the gangsters, the bad boys. Because you got all these options out here. But is it because you realize that all you can get is the man that's in prison? Because the men out here don't want you because you ain't got nothing to offer to him. But the one in prison, he'll talk to you. He'll tell you he love you. Send him some money. That's how I think, in my opinion, women get into the prison world. My opinion. This is just my opinion. Is that they don't want to do the work to work for the men that they want out here because they're lazy. And they would rather just go that route and they can be in control. And they can be, get all the attention. He ain't got nothing else to do but call you. Duh. So that's my idea of like, you got all these men that's out of prison, but you want a prison pal. You met your man while he was in prison. Now, I knew him before. There's men who are marrying and meeting women while they're in prison. On those, they got y'all. I swear to God, I saw a live a few months ago. This is sometime last year. There's a whole prison talk where the prisoners be on TikTok live, multiples of them. I sat in that live and just watched and observed. It was black women on the panel. That's number one. About 6 of them. Cameras on. What are you doing that you in a live entertaining prisoners, giggling? No shade to the pen pals. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, why are you entertaining that when you could be out here in the world? Oh, because don't nobody want you and you don't want to do the work to fix you. So you'll just go the other route. You're too lazy to do the work to get a good man. Not saying that, I'm not saying that a man, but I'm saying a woman a man that's out here willing and able to take care of you, be there with you, take you on dates, all the things. It's interesting, right? Interesting to think about how they get to that point. Just my opinion. My opinion. So, again, we have to get out of our Delulu land. get out of our feelings, change our behaviors, change our attitudes, be accountable. And I think that will open up so many doors with our dating lives. So many. Close your legs. Okay. Put some clothes on. Act like a lady. Slow down. You being a social worker, he don't care. He don't care. What kind of woman are you? I don't care if you're a social worker. I don't care if you're a lawyer. What kind of woman are you? What kind of person are you? What kind of person are you? Well, how can you add value to my life? And vice versa, you should be looking for the same thing from a man. How can you add value to my life? Again, yeah, I don't know it all. I never try to pretend like I do. But I do believe that with the right amount of work and effort, life can change. But again, as Black women, we have adapted this I don't got to do anything type of mentality. And if I have to do anything, it ain't for me. That's how we process doing work. If I got to do too much, oh, that ain't for me. I got to be free of that. I can't be stressed out. If it's causing me too much stress, it ain't for me. So we tell ourselves that type of delusional stuff. So we stay stuck. We stay at the bottom. You know, so you over sexualizing yourself. I don't want you to be my wife. Look at you. You walk outside with your thong out, right? I don't want to be with a woman like that. I'll sleep with you. And you ain't trying to change your appearance. I'm not about to marry you. I don't want that to. You're not about to walk around my friends and these important spaces looking like that. That's what I'm saying. Men think about, especially as they're building in a certain caliber of man, a man who's trying to, really get himself together and really has, a vision for his life. He's thinking about how can I bring you into certain spaces? Can you come to the company holiday party? Are you able to come to the boss, to my job, or to bring me lunch? Like, how are you showing up? When you call a job, how do you talk on the phone? That small stuff that we think is small is big to a man. When you go to the kid's school, how do you act? How do you look? How do you handle conflict if something was to happen with the kids at the school? So this type of stuff, you got to really ask yourself as a woman, do I carry myself well? Would you want to date you? Would you want to hear your mouth when you get mad? Would you want to have to argue with you? Sometimes we got to ask ourselves those questions. So I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all for really being here. We average like 100 people. So I really, really, really appreciate all the support. I really do. Like I said, I really just want to bring awareness that we're here. And it scares me to say, I don't know when we're going to get out of this space. Honestly, I don't know. I have a 6-year-old daughter and I have a 13-year-old, a soon to be 13-year-old, on turning 13 on Friday. And I have a 20-year-old stepdaughter. And I think about my 6-year-old, Elise, because I have the most hands on her to be able to really try to influence her, and just thinking about having these conversations about how you carry yourself, and even small things that she does, like now where she get like her little attitudes, and I'm always trying to make her aware of her demeanor. And you don't got like the attitude is not cute, it's not nice, it's not a good look. Like I try to make her aware that it's not how you want to show up and present yourself. So it's the mannerisms, it's the behaviors, it's the mindset, being a team player. We are so individualized. We don't want to be a team player. And a man's going to find him somebody who want to be on his team. He want to find somebody who's going to be on his team. So either you want to be on the team or you don't. And too many of us don't want to be on the team. We want to be on the team that we want to be on, and you don't get to choose. You don't get to choose. He chooses you. Men dictate our value. They determine our value. Excuse me. Men determine our value just as much as we determine theirs in the dating world. The dating market value. So we can want what we want, all we want, but he has to decide if you can get on his team. And he has to see that I want you on my team for these reasons. Black women, we were married and had the highest marital rates at one point in time. What was it? Probably the 50s, 60s at the latest. There was marriage, and we were desired, and we were together, and we were families. And we are not there anymore. We are so far from that. And now we have a Vivica A. Fox. Last year she was taking applications, boyfriend applications. Y'all remember that? 60 years old. I don't want that for y'all. I don't want that for y'all to be 60 years old taking boyfriend applications. But the feminist movement started all of this, and now social media has amplified it. Social media has amplified it. It's your friends who are continuing to keep it going. Whether you're friends in real life or your friends on social media. Whoever you want to go by, your friends are also affecting you. And they keep you single. They keep you unmarried. So that's that, y'all. This is a great conversation. I really appreciate you all being here this evening. It really means a lot to me. Yeah, like I said, I want to see more Black women married. I do. I want to see way more Black women married. I want to see Black families come back together. I want to see Black children being raised with their parents. Even things like that, like my little cousin had texted my son, and she said, "Can you ask your parents something?" And even just something like that, like talking about asking your parents. That means, like, I know it's both of them. You got to ask your parents, right? They're both in the home. They're both around. Small stuff like that, kids, that made me proud. Something as small as that he has both his parents. And those are things that most of us didn't have, to be able to say, I'm gonna call my parents. I don't call my mom. I'm not talking to my mom. I'm gonna call my dad. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things that matter, and those are the things that we need back in our community with family and children, and just it's so much better to do it by yourself. It's so much better to do. I mean, I'm sorry, did I say do it by yourself? It's so much better to do it with a partner. So much better. It is 10 times better. It's 10 times better. 10 times better. 10 times better. So I hope that you all enjoyed this live, because I know I did. This is a great conversation. This is something that I am very passionate about talking about, and I don't talk about it lightly. I don't say this just to gloat, because I don't have it all figured out. Like I said, I wasn't raised to be a wife. I do my best. But I'm in it. I'm in it for the long haul. I'm blessed to be married. I'm blessed to have my family. I'm blessed to have my husband. But do I believe that some things I could have avoided in my marriage, like disagreements or certain issues, if I had been raised to be a wife? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But I do believe that there is so much added value when you have more insight. you've seen it, you understand it a little bit more, you know. So I appreciate y'all. I really do. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are not, which I'm sure y'all probably already are. And also, I'm going to drop the link for the super chat in the description of this video. I mean, not the super chat, excuse me, for the JAG VIP Patreon. So definitely I'm gonna put that in the description. Join the Patreon, y'all. I would love for you guys to join the Patreon. If you want, I actually what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drop it in the chat now if you want to join the Patreon just for some more exclusive content, discussion that I won't talk about on a public platform, something that is going to be a little bit more personal, a little bit more deeper. So I would love for you guys to definitely join the Patreon. It is something that I am building, and I would just, love to have more and more of you be a part of the Patreon and, go a little bit deeper in conversation. So I'm just dropping it in the chat if you guys want to copy, if anybody wants to copy that and join, you are more than welcome and greatly appreciated to be a part of it. Also, for my ladies that are here, if you have not already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have a beauty channel as well. It is the Beauty Room with Just a Girl. So definitely subscribe to that channel. It is here on YouTube. Again, it's the Beauty Room with Just a Girl. So that's beauty content, all of that things to elevate your look and all of that. So I would love for you guys to also join that side of my platform and, subscribe over there. So again, I appreciate you guys. I really, really do. I really am thankful to be just building this platform and using my voice in a way that I feel it is helping, and it is also, you don't know who you're going to reach and touch by doing so. So yeah. The devil is always busy, but we just have to do our best to stay focused on what God has for us, So all right, y'all. Well, I appreciate you guys. Again, I will drop all the information in the description. I will see you guys in the next episode. And of course, you guys will see me dropping a new episode of Just Girl Talk tomorrow here on my platform. So talk to you guys later. Bye.
So let's talk about it. I'm just a girl.
You know that girl, I am just a girl too.
There's a creator on this app called I'm Just a Girl, and a lot of y'all don't like her.
All the discourse surrounding Just a Girl, I really have just one question.
And I'm just a girl.
Just a girl.
That lady, I'm just a girl.
No, because y'all are tearing that Just a Girl a whole new one.
I think the problem with I'm Just a Girl's content,
That Just a Girl lady, you cannot convince me that she don't hate black women.